I miss Ronda Rousey. I do. I really do miss Ronda Rousey. Um, Ronda Rousey showed up at the Royal Rumble 2018 main event for the Women's Royal Rumble, which overshadowed the Women's Royal Rumble, by the way. Like, Asuka won the first Women's Royal Rumble, but hardly nobody talks about it because of Ronda Rousey's debut. Ronda Rousey goes on to have a really great debut at WrestleMania, teaming up with Kurt Angle against, Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. She had a good little run with the Raw Women's Championship. She had a great bout with Charlotte. She just had some great bouts over and over again. Like Ronda Rousey, someone who was just coming from the MMA to the WWE and someone who was just making their debut. Ronda Rousey was actually killing it. Like, she, Charlotte, and Becky, even though the match wasn't that really good in my opinion, and I guess the argument you could say because it was that late into the night, but the match wasn't that really a WrestleMania main event match for what it was worth. But they made the feud work, at least, even though it really should have been Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania instead of adding Charlotte to the mix. But even with Charlotte added, they able to make it special. Since WrestleMania 35, we have not seen Ronda Rousey in a WWE ring. And Ronda Rousey has teased it many times. The WWE has said it. Stephanie and Triple H has said how they wanted to have Ronda Rousey back. Ronda Rousey has claimed that she might be coming back. Like, there have been many claims that she is coming back to the WWE. And I'm making this video because there have been people that have been saying, I don't think Rousey should come back to WWE. Oh, I didn't really like Ronda Rousey in WWE. But I don't know about you guys, but I sure as hell miss Ronda Rousey. And I think that the women's division could use someone like Ronda Rousey, in my opinion. The problem that they kind of did, and this might seem like a nitpick with Ronda Rousey, was the fact that she was a babyface. When she came in, she was the happy-go-lucky, happy to be here, new girl on the block, just happy to be here and yada, 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 blah, 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 all that whole 9 yards. But her last few months in the company, like when she turned heel, you gotta admit, like, that shit was fucking awesome. Like, the heel Ronda Rousey was awesome because she wasn't coming out smiling and waving and high-fiving these little girls left and right. She was coming to the ring, marching to the ring, no smiles, no, just straight up kicking women's asses and beating the you know what. I don't want to drop an F-bomb a lot, but you get what I'm saying here. She's just coming in and beating women left and right every single week. Hell, even that one week where her husband was getting on the action. That shit was cool. Like, that shit was amazing, man. Like, Ronda Rousey made you really get into the women's division because, even though she lost to Holly Holmes, came back to only get her ass knocked out again and then cry to Dana White about it and then leave UFC, she was, if not the biggest women's draw, like the powerful woman in the world, like one of the most successful. Like, some would say she's up there with Serena Williams when it comes to like women achievement and just girl power and all that women stuff. So she was big. So when she showed up at Mania with The Rock, even though she just grabbed Stephanie by the arm, like, that shit was fun. Like, she was trending on Twitter, I believe. Well, I didn't have Twitter at the time, but she obviously was trending. Like, one of the most powerful women in the world and just one of the baddest women in the world. Someone like a women's division needed her, and she made it, man. Like, I have never seen that much eyes on a women's division, I guess you could say, since the Attitude or something like that. And don't get me wrong, the women's evolution is great and everything, but having Rousey be a part of it was even cooler. And just like, I think Rousey coming back, that's why I really want Ronda Rousey to come back, because, yeah, like, once fans come back, like, not now, she doesn't have to come back now, but like once fans fully come back, I want Ronda Rousey back in the ring because I think she could be a great heel. She could continue her storyline with Becky Lynch. They can finally have the one-on-one match we've all been dying to see. Well, if there's any people left to see that match. There's just she can still have a match with Asuka. She can have a match with Bianca. Tell me you don't want to see Bianca versus Ronda Rousey. Bianca being the ultimate babyface, Rousey being the ultimate heel. It could serve up pretty well. And I know the women of Ember Moon have came out in the past and said that we don't need Ronda Rousey, but in my opinion, they kind of do, because I think, and I know, you got Charlotte and Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Becky, because Becky's obviously going to come back soon, and Vince is obviously going to put her back in the main event scene. But you can't rely on your 4 horsewomen to do everything. You got to build up the stars. That's why I'm glad they're building up, stars like Bianca Belair, giving her, a slowly, push to the main event scene. So they just got to build up the women. But I think having Ronda Rousey come back, it just adds once again more real legitimacy to the women's division, because you have a legitimate badass in Ronda Rousey, someone who can actually beat your ass in a real fight, unless you're Holly Holmes or Amanda Nunes. But unless you're those two women, Rousey could actually kick you and beat you in a fight. Come on. I liked seeing Ronda Rousey, and she wasn't one of those part-timers or any of those wrestlers who appeared on TV and then disappeared. She showed up consistently. Did she get pushed? Yeah, she did get pushed to the moon a lot. Her first singles, pay-per-view was for the Raw Women's Championship, but you can't admit she still brought in the views. She still brought in the money, which is, at the end of the day, that's what the WWE is all about. And Rousey obviously did that. That's obviously why the main event was specifically that triple threat match. It could have been Kofi versus Bryan, but they made it specifically around the women because it was one of the most intriguing storylines heading into WrestleMania. Even though Kofi and Daniel was probably much bigger than that. But you get what I'm saying here. The point that I'm trying to make here is that I want to see Ronda Rousey come back. I sure as hell miss Ronda Rousey. I want to see her in the ring again. And this time, no smiling, no giggling, no laughing, no high-fiving kids, no screaming, yay, go power! Just going in the ring, beating up women left and right, squashing women left and right, and dominating like she did in UFC before she, had those 2 losses. But you get what I'm saying now. So, anyways, guys, that's the video. There's nothing else I could say, man. Subscribe to the channel, DC Wrestling. I just hit 50 subscribers. Let's get this up to 60. Let's see if we can get this up to 60. Thank you guys for showing some love and support. I truly appreciate it, you guys. As Kevin Durant said it best when he called his mom, saying that she's the real MVP, you guys are the real MVP. So I really appreciate it, you guys. So I'll probably be back with another video tomorrow with AEW, because Kenta, that whole thing, AEW tomorrow. I will be dropping a Friday Night SmackDown review. I will be dropping a NXT TakeOver Vengeance predictions preview. That's going to also be coming out this weekend. So I got a couple videos, and who knows, I might drop a double video on Friday. Who knows what I'll do. This is the DC Wrestling channel, and you can't. It's unpredictable here at DC Wrestling. You don't know when I'm going to drop. You don't know what time. You just don't know exactly when. Well, then again, you just knew now. But anyways, I'm getting off sidetrack here. Again, subscribe to the channel. And so, yeah.